Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com. We are here today on a beautiful day in Kent, Ohio. We're here with the legendary Robert Kidney from the legendary band 156075, the Numbers Band. Are we having fun today?
I'm frightened. I don't want to be a legend. I wouldn't mind being a footnote, but not in the legend.
Right. Well, I guess that's kind of interesting. You've the 50th anniversary show you're putting on here. I mean, congratulations on that. That's amazing.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's actually, I'm not calling it 50 years. It's a half a century.
Right.
Really? It's a half a century.
You have seen a lot in those years. Do you remember? You remember the first gig, the first show that you ever did with the band?
With the band, yes. It was at a place called Nino's, and a friend of mine named John Prinzo knew the owner, and he got us the first job with the original band, and the only caveat was that I had to do one song off the top 40 list, because we didn't do anything, never have, but I did do one. It's Fortunate Son.
Fortunate Son, Creedence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because really it was an original scene, wasn't it? It was all about original music back then.
I don't know. There was nothing happening when I started. I think that happened later.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think in the late 70s is when the real new wave punk thing hit Ohio.
Right.
But we were the old band then.
A number of the punk folks came through the Numbers Band, right? Jerry Casale went on to be in DEVO. You had Chris Butler went on to the Waitresses. What was it about the Numbers Band that sort of was a forming ground for these bands?
I think it's just a matter of an odd coincidence. I think the city of Kent has always been a music center, mm-hmm. going all the way back into the 50s. Mm-hmm. I think, I knew Jerry long before I had a band.
Right.
He was going to college here, right. And I was fired from high school. So I got to know him, and Chris Butler also lived in Kent. But there were all these wonderful, very talented people who were here, and some of them ended up in the band because what we were doing attracted a large crowd in the Cove. We were doing pretty much power-based blues at that point, and that's what people were ready to hear. And so I think that as I lost and regained musicians, they kind of ran through the band.
Right. So how did you navigate that, where club owners maybe wanted you to play covers and you wanted to play all original music? And you had some unusual ideas too. It wasn't traditional music really. It was progressive.
I didn't play there. I was I didn't even talk to them. What I did was we played at the Cove 4 nights a week. Week in, week out, year in, year out. And then we moved to JB's. Mm-hmm. And as things grew and our reputation grew because of the Scene magazine and the people in Cleveland, some of the press in Cleveland, we began playing some of the clubs up there like the Old Agora and things like that. And I think the reputation just kind of spread. So our opportunities spread. That doesn't mean that when we go up there and play to like 30 people, but I mean, we used to play the what's the name of that? The Pirates Cove, which we became Peabody's Down Under. I mean, we played these clubs, when they've had 3 different names, we're still playing there, So different owners come and go,
You've seen a lot of changes over the year. The venues have changed. How have audiences changed over the years?
Well, I don't think in one way they haven't changed. They're still trend-oriented. They're still mostly young, and it's kind of irrelevant to me. I think that our audience is a certain type of person. It isn't an audience; it's a certain kind of person. I think they're bright, and I think they're interested in something that's unusual, and I think that they want. We have the band has a certain aspect that is a primal force, which I cultivate, and I think that when they come, no matter what kind of music they like, they feel this primal force, and that's what they really actually want. Yeah. I'm also, I think that one of the reasons we've sustained for so long is that we change material. We're constantly writing new material. I mean, when we do this show here at the Kent Stage on February 29th, we will be doing some new material. Right. We have a new album coming out, the first one in 8 years. I hate recording in the studio. I feel like I'm caged. Right. I just don't like it. But I went in for the sake of the audience, and we recorded live in the studio, not live according to the studio, live according to live. And we set up, no earphones, nothing like that, and as little technology as possible, and played and recorded it. So now it's done. And it's called Endure. Outliers on Water Street.
Nice. Well, you have that legendary live album that is, I hate to use that word legendary over and over, but, it's a brilliant live album. And it just shows the excitement and energy and that force you're talking about live.
Right. Well, that's exactly right. And that's what we set out to recapture. I think Steve Etherton of Redurbin Records is the one who's come the closest to actually capturing what we're like live, because most of what we did with him on all the other CDs on Redurbin Records are live. I mean, there's a lot of live music, but this is not. This is a studio record done live. That's a difference, like they used to do it, and it's this show and this record are dedicated to the audience. Nice. And I've been pumping that for several years. I mean, after all, the reason we've been in business for half a century is because of the audience. The music is one thing, but it doesn't make any difference how much the club owner likes your music. If there's nobody there, you will not be playing there. Right. That's the way it is. So the audience is why we're here. And so there's a dedication. Don't worry about it. I'll talk for another half hour. You ready?
I
don't have a problem with talking.
You're talking about dedicating these shows to your fans.
Yeah, the show and the record is dedicated to the people who have supported us for 50 years. And there are occasionally people I talk to who were there at the Cove in 1970. And I'm kind of amazed they're still alive, as am I. But they are. Cove was a very, very rough place. And so I've dedicated this CD and the show to the audience, and also to my bass player and my drummer, Bill Watson on bass and Clint Allgaier on drums, who have been with us for the last 8 years. That is Terry Hynde, my brother Jack, and myself, and have carried this band to the place where we are now. You appreciate that. You're a drummer. Yeah. You don't get any credit. I'm giving you credit, see?
I appreciate it for sure.
I know, man. I know what it is, I know what it is,
I got to ask, because there's a story about how Jerry Casale came into the band and then left the band. Can you set the record straight on that once and for all?
Well, you know what? Let me tell you. Everybody that left this band has their own story. And I'll leave them with that. I'm not going to, push back or redefine. However they want to see what happened is their memory, and they're welcome to it. Gotcha. But I know what happened. And I think the misunderstanding is this. It's like, I worked construction for a living when I was a young man. I poured concrete. I poured blacktop, anvil top on the highway. Okay? That's what I did. Right. And when I got back from a short stint in the service, I would be going back to the factory. I was fired from high school. You got that?
Yeah.
I would be going back to the work that I could do. Okay? So when I got in the Cove with my band and saw an opportunity, I was not going to give that up.
Right.
So when someone who had another idea about how things were supposed to be confronted me, I was pushing back. Now that can be looked at as being a stick in the mud, to put it nicely. But it's really that I had an opportunity, and I saw an exit into a life that would be a little bit easier for me, a little bit better for me, doing something that I enjoyed doing. And anyone that threatened that, if you came in my band and you had been in the band for a week, 1 week, I paid you the same amount that I made, and I had had that band for 12 years, 14 years, 7 years, 5 years. And at the end of that week, you got the same amount of money that I did. That's the way I ran things, but I ran it, and it was work. And it was, that I was protecting the people that I worked with from people who were unhappy.
Right.
I don't blame them for being unhappy.
Right.
But I'm not going to set any story straight. They're welcome to their story. But someday, I don't know, maybe I'll write a book.
Tell me if you got any surprises for us here on this 50th anniversary concert. What do you got up your sleeve?
I got a lot up my sleeve, but if I told you what it was, it wouldn't be a surprise, would it?
Mr. Kidney, it is such a pleasure. We took a little break here and just spoke with you for at least a half hour here, and I wish we could have got all that on tape. Thank you so much. Looking so much.
Got it on tape, Thomas. What we were talking about is illegal. It was good talking with you. I appreciate you coming down and supporting us. That's important.
I can't wait for the show. Good luck with things. Here's to another 50 years, huh?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you later.
Hold on. Oh, I don't want that.
Now there's more. Now there's more.
Battery.
Now there's more.
I think it is a secret, but you can tell him he can keep it till it's announced, right?
Yeah. Who is this guy?
Released right away.
Turn
I just got to promote this
turn
show.
this motherfucking thing the fuck off.
Nice. Well, it's off now.
That's how you take care of interviews.
It's-
That's how you
yeah.
keep. That's how you keep fucking shit from getting on
That's
fucking
right.
TV, because the motherfucking numbers fucking banned.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. This is the internet. We don't give
Oh,
a
that's
shit
right.
what the fuck
What
you
did
say.
you say? Oh!
I'll be inside. Stop in and see me.
Oh, man. Yeah, all right.
You don't have to.
Well,
I don't have a gun
I'm
to your fucking
exhausted.
head. I know. It's talking is fucking tiring.
Did
No,
you guys have an announcement to make?
I do have an
has
announcement to
one.
make. We are opening for Joe Walsh.
Whoa.
You got to edit this.
Oh.
'Cause who's that other fucker? Graham Nash?
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Crosby, Stills. Crosby. Okay,
David
cut.
Crosby.
Cut.
Say that again?
David Crosby and Joe Walsh are going to be at the May 4th. They're doing the big show
Right.
at the Kent State,
Right.
and we're going to be the opening act.
Wow. 50th anniversary of the May 4th shooting.
Well, you get old.
Wow.
People, they respect you when you're old. Maybe.
You are respected. You are revered. I have to tell you, thank you for doing this. Thank you for standing up all these years and bringing the noise to this region.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the audience. I keep telling you that. This is not a band and an audience. This thing has been going on for half a century. It's become much more than that. Okay, it's much more. It's one entity.
Awesome.
See you later.
Thanks for spending time.
And I got things I got to do. I could get arrested if I stand here much longer. What?
We've been talking for a while.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Kidney.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye-bye.